My husband is dying and doesn't know I'm pregnant. This is total crap. I'm 39 years old with two teenage kids and I'm married to Steve, 40. Sorry if this all sounds crazy. It's a really messed up story. Our marriage was basically a marriage of convenience. Steve and I were both divorced and had been friends for decades. This spring, Steve learned he had a rare cancer and doctors gave him about 6 months to live. 3 years ago, Steve found a daughter he had had before marriage from a casual relationship when he was young. When he found her, it turned out that his daughter, she was 10 years old at the time, I'll call her Sarah, had been horribly abused by her mother, who seemed to have some kind of mental breakdown. So he fought for a year for custody of the child he hadn't seen since infancy and eventually won it. Then he worked on their relationship for almost 2 years so that Sarah would recover and begin to trust him. And surprise, he's fucking dying. So our marriage was mostly about Sarah. We were told that it would be the easiest thing to do legally, so that after Steve died, I would have custody of Sarah in case her mother tried to take her away again. And yes, I 100% want custody of Sarah, no questions asked. I love her very much. She is already like a sister to my children and almost the same age as them. This girl has come a long way. She once did not even have shoes. And now she is smart, funny, and overall an amazing girl. We just signed without a wedding and Steve and Sarah moved into my house. All the kids knew what was going on and took it surprisingly well. And yes, something happened between Steve and me. He admitted that he had been in love with me for a long time, and I simply reciprocated his feelings. Although I was not 100% sure of my feelings, it all happened so fast. Maybe I did the wrong thing, but I wanted his last months to be happy and I really care about him. Steve has been declining rapidly. In recent weeks, he's been home most of the time, except for short hospital stays. Nurses come in every day. He's been force-fed painkillers, so sometimes he's sane and sometimes he's not. He's literally dying right in front of me and it's fucking hard. And then this week I found out I'm pregnant. I'm not sure I want to keep the baby. I'm old. I have 3 teenagers to take care of. I'm seriously considering not telling Steve about the pregnancy at all, but it feels wrong. Telling him feels wrong too, because he's more worried about leaving Sarah than he is about dying. And if he finds out he's leaving another child, it'll only make things worse for him. Terminating the pregnancy feels wrong. Keeping the baby feels wrong. Everything about this situation feels wrong, and I just want a cigarette and a bottle of wine. And you know, it's really hard to explain the relationship between me and Steve, but I'll try at least to put it all in perspective for myself. We were friends. I got married too early. A huge mistake. By the time I got divorced, he was married. When he got divorced, his youngest child was in serious health trouble. Then Sarah became the center of his life. Somewhere in the middle of all this, we were working full-time jobs, burying 3 parents, making and receiving drunken late-night calls from and to our exes. But sometimes my ex would call from his cell. But it was always about timing. There was just never enough of it. This year, being single parents together, we were a great team. Steve taught my oldest to drive. Steve called me at work when his daughter got her period. It was funny. We always had each other's backs. I was starting to fall in love with him. It felt inevitable. It felt right. It felt like we had time at the end, but we didn't. And then everything suddenly sped up, compressed. Like someone had fast-forwarded our lives, or the writers were rushing to finish the season so they could go work on Star Wars. Ha ha ha. So yeah, I love Steve, but the last few months have felt weird and artificial. I grieve more for the relationship we could have had, should have had, damn it, than for the one we have. Anyway, go hug your loved ones, or whatever the moral is. I wrote more than I wanted and now I'm throwing up again. Oh, disgusting. Update 1. I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep the baby and tell Steve, but I want to sleep on that thought first. And Steve's already passed out for the night. Thanks for listening. I'm going to do the dishes, feed the cat, and go to bed. I will read and reply to comments when I can and hope to update sometime before the weekend. Edit. I went to the gynecologist this morning and here's the twist. I'm not a month pregnant. I'm over 3 months pregnant. No, I don't feel better. I'm furious that my choice has been taken away again. I'm tired of my life feeling like a train going full speed and I'm not in control. I'm tired of everyone romanticizing everything. Tired of everyone telling me I'm strong, but I feel like I'm just doing the bare minimum to keep from drowning. I'm just going to be angry for a while. Thank you. So here is the conversation I had with the gynecologist less than 30 minutes ago. In my own words, me, is the old IUD dangerous for the child? Doctor, I pulled her out 5 years ago when her term was up. I don't remember it at all. Are you sure it was me? You said you didn't need her anymore because all men were shit and you were going to run away and join a lesbian commune. Yeah, that sounds like me. In my defense, 5 years ago my youngest child had a tumor removed from his spine and his father showed up at the hospital with a 20-year-old girlfriend. So yes, I may have lost some of the events of that period. Update to. It turned out I was pregnant not for 4 weeks, but for about 15. The baby is a girl. She will be loved and will become a welcome part of our family. I'll tell Steve. You can keep commenting. I like to answer them, but the decision has been made. Thanks everyone. Edited. I received about 5 messages saying that at this stage it is impossible to determine the sex of the child. Well, go and argue with the ultrasound specialist, who was quite confident in her words. I'm about to give you a rant. Sorry. Last night when I wrote this, I was just sad and scared, and then so many people turned it into some romantic twist that I got sucked in and went to bed thinking I was going to keep the baby and everything was going to be wonderful and beautiful and blah blah blah, and then I woke up half crazy and out of it, and then I found out I was way further along than I thought, and that reality just knocked the wind out of me, and I'm angry that I never really had a choice, and I'm angry that people think it's romantic that I have a dying man's child growing inside me, and I'm angry that I came home ready to talk to Steve and I can't because Sarah's skipping school again, and I get that she wants to spend time with her dad, but I fucking made a deal with her that if she went this week she could skip next week. I even got my teacher to agree to it. They started watching season 3 of Stranger Things, and I just want to yell at Steve. Why the hell are you starting a new show when you don't even know if you're going to finish your sandwich? And of course I can't say that, because you can't yell at dying people and remind them that they're dying. You can't yell and stop fucking dying when that's exactly what I want. And he's on medication and he's saying he's a hopper and Sarah's 11. No, you're not a fucking hopper. You've been sitting at your desk in an office for 10 years and gotten fat, and you've never hit anyone in your life. I'm tired of everyone glossing over the truth that life is 90% annoying servicing of our stinking meat sacks and endless paperwork, and only 10% is something that actually matters. And when this important thing happens, you're not even prepared for either the good or the bad because you're tired thinking about bills and paying only half attention to what's happening. And then you remember, oh, that was the most romantic night of my life just because you decided to remember it that way. Although in reality, at that moment, all you were thinking about was how to take off those tights that were making your legs itch like crazy and whether you'd fed the cat. Okay. I'm going to go get some groceries. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Comments. I'm so shocked by your situation, but I have this feeling. I don't want to romanticize it. LOL. That if you have this baby and it looks like you don't have a choice, you'll do it. You'll be a great mom to all 4 of them. There will be good days. There will be bad days. But all four of them will grow up to be normal people. And in the end, that's all that really matters. Good luck to you. And I'm sorry you're going through this. Decide if you want to keep the baby. If so, tell him. He can make videos, write cards, whatever you want that you can give to the baby when he's older. It would be amazing to know that even though my dad died before I was born, he loved me enough to do these things for me. Comments, yes. I will leave her. Of course I will leave. I'll tell him. We'll make videos and shit. Has anyone else seen the movie or TV show where the mom tried to write her twins' birthday cards for every birthday before she died and couldn't finish them because it was too painful to think about missing it all? Yes. Now I'm sad again. It's going to be hard for both of you, but you have to get through it. Your child will have a connection with his father through these cards or videos or whatever you do. Otherwise, he will only have photos and your memories of him. And if there are real messages from his father, the child will feel that he is growing up with him, at least to some extent. Well, how did it go? Was he happy? Author, I cuddled up to him, showed him the ultrasound and said, "That's our girl," or something. Like that. He was silent for a minute, then said, "She's having a sister." It wasn't what I expected, but I agreed. Yes, his daughter is going to have a sister. Then he asked me if I could handle it, and I said yes, I could. We lay there in silence for a long time, and that was pretty much it. Today he is quiet, but sometimes he is like that. I need to tell the kids and ask him about recording videos or letters or cards, but I want to give him some space to think. So I can't say for sure about his emotional state yet. Tomorrow is my last day at work before I go on unpaid family leave, so we'll have more time to talk in the coming days and weeks. Final update, I'm not sure anyone will even look at this post, but for anyone who stumbles upon it in the future, Steve died a few days ago. We're all fine. Everything is fine. I'm holding on. The paperwork is a pain in the ass, but I got the laundry sorted out. And yes, everyone who read my comment about Steve and Sarah watching season 3 of Stranger Things and not warning me about the ending, there's a special place in hell for you. That was traumatic. That's fucking ironic.